Hello and welcome to another episode of the Transportation Exchange podcast presented by Rush Truck Centers of Canada. I'm your host, Jason Cuddy. On today's episode, we're excited to welcome Sean Gilroy from Battle Motors. Sean, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So we're happy to have you on. You are a new line we are now carrying here at Rush Truck Centers, so it was timely to have you up here. You're out here visiting some customers, so we want to get everyone a bit familiar with the company itself, but maybe we'll just dive into quickly, a little bit of background on yourself and how you got into the industry.
Well, I've been in the industry for about 35 years in the trucking world, as you say. And I've been with Battle Motors, formerly Crane Carrier, for the last just over 5 years. I've been in the industry, like I said, for 35 years now. And the exciting thing about Battle Motors, formerly Crane Carrier, was we're a 75-year-old company. So we've been building trucks, severe duty, very rugged pieces of equipment for a long time. And we were purchased about a year and a half ago by a gentleman named Mike Patterson. And Mike owned a battery company, so he bought us primarily because he wanted to make electric battery trucks. And so along with making diesel trucks and CNG trucks, we now also make electric trucks. So we went from being an old company to basically a startup, which is really exciting. And I learn something new every day. And we're building onto our plant. We're basically tripling the size of the plant. So we're increasing capacity. We typically used to build maybe 300 trucks a year. We're going to build 1,200 this year, and we're going to build 4,000 next year.
Oh, wow.
So we're really ramping up production, which is exciting. And we have a good mix of diesel, CNG, and electric vehicles. So depending on what the customer's needs, wants, and requirements are, we can build them trucks. The nice thing too is we still have slots available for next year, and 2024 is, as you know, is going to be another round of
EPA hits.
EPA. So it's going to be a big pre-buy for a lot of companies, and the availability of equipment is just not out there.
No, we see it across all our product lines, right? And I think, having you guys on board is key to keeping us kind of moving too, with being able to deliver equipment. Like you said, you guys have some capacity right now to meet demand.
And it's really nice being teamed up with a company like Rush in Canada, because your locations and your ability and your footprint in the marketplace, that you can take care of your customers and you can take care of our product. And since you're an international primarily franchise, you don't have a competing product, right? Because ours is a cab over, as you know. Mm-hmm. And we're also looking to go into other markets, beverage, delivery, utility space, which
they play a lot in there. Yeah,
and a lot of them really require. Well, first of all, just attrition alone, there's a lot of demand out there, right? But with with all the incentives that different governments are putting out there, or in our case, in the States, there's a lot of financial incentives to get rid of older, dirty equipment,
right?
And replace it with cleaner equipment, whether it be in CNG or electric. We can help customers out then.
Yeah, and we just had some announcements recently that Canada's finally figured that out. I know before it was provincial, it's BC and Quebec had some grants for, promptly zero emission vehicles, and now it's across Canada. So the timing's good to be,
absolutely,
to getting out there, and the demand will be there, right? It's another product line that guys can dig into.
We're also working on doing some leasing programs for our battery electric vehicles. We're like a 6-year lease where they turn the truck in after 6 years. So basically it's a payment.
Yep.
So they don't have to worry about residual value disposing of the vehicle in 6 years. So we're going to be coming out with financial products for that in the near future, our own financial arm.
And that'll be good, because I know the struggle when we've talked to people about, especially the battery electric product, is the residual. Like, what do we hold in the back end, right? So I know a lot of lenders are going to zero just because they don't know, because the technology moves so fast. What's this thing going to be worth in 5-6 years? And they don't want to be upside down on it. And some others are taking the position. So I think a product like that, will help kind of get over that anxiety for people looking to get in but don't really know how to get out.
Absolutely. And we're anticipating a lot less maintenance costs with the electric vehicles. So even though the upfront costs are more, your maintenance costs aren't going to be as much. You're not going to have DPF systems to deal with. And with 2024 being a new new systems, who knows what that can bring.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything. I know it's coming. And like you said, with the backlog that we see on the other product lines with the other OEMs, we're almost there as far as talking about it to customers. It's a year and a half away, but realistically, probably the next chance we get to put orders in,
Absolutely.
you're going to be an EPA 24 engines, and we don't know what that exposure is. We got some rough idea of where it may be depending on the class, but it's going to be a lot.
And it's going to increase the cost of those.
Yes.
Typically cheaper diesel trucks. It's going to be a lot more expensive. So we're excited. And we still have, like I said, available slots because of the production capabilities that we're building since Mr. Patterson bought us.
Nice. So maybe, so for those not familiar, walk us through kind of different product lines. I know you've got a few, and we've talked some battery electric, and we'll dig into that. But obviously, walk us through kind of what you guys offer to the marketplace.
Well, our primary product is what's called an LET2, which stands for low entry tilt. And we're going to do some rebranding of this product to give it a fancier name. But basically, this truck is 18 inches to get in and out of the cab on both sides. We do all our customization on the line, whereas everybody else does it like a Fontaine or aftermarket product, basically. So everything's covered under warranty. We have several different door combinations, but the primary thing we sell is our patented 18 inches to get in and out of the cab. Refuse market is really the tip of the iceberg for us. We're looking to get into package delivery and beverage delivery, diggers, plow trucks. There's a lot of other uses for our truck because of the low entry. Yeah. We also build a very industrial cab, so it's all steel, so it's very durable. It lasts a long time. And as far as powertrain, if it's a diesel or a CNG, it comes with, we have different options as far as Cummins engines go, and Allison transmissions. So you can put a big warranty on that if you want, or you can get it serviced pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, that's the best of those.
Which is huge. It is a product that's made in North America. We're not, made in the United States or Mexico or Canada from parts from all over the world. So we haven't really hit the supply chain issues that some other larger manufacturers have, which is the reason we're still able to make trucks and meet our customers' demands at this point. So it's been, like I said, an exciting time to work at Battle.
And then there's another models I was going through, I guess more of a narrow cab, probably for more city, like maybe not as aggressive in the size, where it's required. Yeah,
we also build what's called the LNT, which is a low narrow tilt, which is we actually designed for the city of New York to go down the alleyways. It's 12 inches narrower than our standard cab. It could fit 3 people in the cab. Again, it's 18 inches to get in and out of the cab. And that's primarily the truck that we're building is an 8-bay for the beverage guys. Okay. And we're gonna have one actually in electric in the next couple of weeks that we're gonna be letting large distributors of beverages try that want to dip their foot in the pool by basically on the electric vehicle. But we can put whatever powertrain they want in that vehicle if they like the cab. We're also incorporating a lot of the safety features into our cab through eyesight, and it's going to be like lane departure, blind spot detection. It's all going to be basically a pad on the dashboard, which is going to replace all our standard gauges.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be all a pad that you can touch with a glove. So nice. And it's industrial grade. Yeah. The nice thing about that too is for maintenance, we actually have a QR code where the mechanic can scan it with his smartphone, and he can get the whole bill of material for that truck.
Oh wow!
So if he needs a part, he can just scan it, and he can call Rush Center and say, "Oh, I need this part, whatever it is, for my truck," because the truck just told me what part number it is.
That's crazy.
So it's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
It goes into the hand in hand with Mr. Patterson buying us, and he comes from more of a computer technical background. Nobody else has this product on the marketplace.
No, and that's kind of neat. Like you said, like the history goes back quite a ways. So obviously the product itself is steeped in history as far as what you do and how do you play in the market. But stuff like QR code specific to the build of the truck. No one's doing that, and that's pretty. It's wild. But I think as you mentioned, you're almost like a startup with the with new ownership. That
absolutely
this kind of stuff comes naturally because you're not kind of just pulling from last 75 years of just how you've always done it. It's like, why don't we just do this? Right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's an extra set of eyes, and our engineers are they're really doing an amazing job with the electric, but they're incorporating some of these other things like the QR code and the all digital dash into our internal combustion engine or ICE vehicles, which is diesel and CNGs. Mm-hmm. So it's and one of the funny things too is there's been a lot of some parts that have been hard to get, like wiring harnesses, for example. So Mr. Patterson's like, well, let's just make our own wiring harnesses. So that's what we're doing, making our own. So if you need a wiring harness, we made it. So it's a lot easier to make it and control the quality of it, and rather than dependent on a supplier, right? Yeah. So we're doing a lot of that, and we're going to be having our big open house in September.
Nice.
September 21st. So we're going to have a big, we're inviting a lot of customers, and it should be a fun time. The plant's pretty much going to be fully operational before that, and we're going to be building at least 12 trucks a day.
Wild.
Up from 1 truck a day.
That's a significant bump.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's my job to sell them.
Yeah, well, exactly. And we're here to support you with it, right? And get it out there. But it's nice to have a different product offering, and it's nice to have something you can actually turn around pretty quickly. And seeing it, it's a unique design, but obviously in severe services where you see it. But like you said, the beverage market, even some pickup delivery when you want, that narrow vehicle, but need that low entry, for different applications. But electric, I think, is a sweet spot for those guys as well, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's neat. And I guess the last piece, as we're kind of going through, and, it's definitely custom, but you guys do some other custom work too if someone's looking for something specific.
We do some, we do airport refuelers.
Okay.
So there are pretty much all airports around the world. You can see a crane carrier or Battle Motors.
Yeah.
We have some other custom trucks that we build for other people that I'm not allowed to talk about because of, NDAs.
Yeah.
But, we build a lot of really cool stuff. And also we build, fracking trucks.
Okay.
So off-road vehicles, and different companies buy our equipment. You don't even know that we built it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I know when you guys came on board and they mentioned, crane carrier obviously was the previous name of the company. I'm like, oh, cool. We got crane trucks to sell, and then go through and get, informed on the product lines. Obviously you guys have made those in the past, but it's not in the core business, but I thought based on a name, like, okay, we're into that market now, and without any body on it, it can play that role visibly, without looking at it. But no, it's neat to see, and it's nice to kind of have, a different perspective on a production, and watching you guys, go at a different way. I love the idea of the fact that, you can't get wiring harnesses, make them, it's
absolutely,
and you're at the size where you can do it, and you can pivot really quickly and make it, make an impact right away, which is nice.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, look, we wanted to have you on, and you're up here briefly. You're here seeing some customers, and we wanted to get you up here to share the story, let everyone know, who Battle Motors is, and the partnership, now with Rush Truck Centers of Canada for, I guess, all across Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
To support the product.
We're here to support you.
Yeah, and let everyone know, what you guys do in the marketplace. So I appreciate you coming on and doing that for us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and we're really looking forward to working with the Rush organization and supporting you to support your customers.
Excellent. Hey, well, that concludes today's episode. I do want to thank Sean from Battle Motors for joining us. To catch up on past episodes, check out transportationexchangepodcast.ca. And until next time, thanks for listening.